We're going. Daniel Brown. Oh my goodness. Thank you for following me over to the new to the new video feed, Daniel Brown. You know what? Let me get to your question first. So, Daniel Brown, as far as brushing teeth, or cleaning your dog's teeth, back in Arizona, we went to a seminar. A little slow but good. Oh, Jade Una, thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I actually have the old window open still, so I'm gonna go back to the question from Sophia Piper about her Maltese. But let me start with Daniel Brown, since you were the first one here on this new live feed. To clean your dog's teeth, back in Arizona, put on by Dr. Helen Evans. And Dr. Helen Evans, she specializes in veterinarian dentistry. And she told me that to clean a dog's teeth, it's actually the mechanical act of brushing, not the toothpaste that does the cleaning. And I remember telling her, like, whoa, that's so different than what we learned as groomers, that I was taught from other groomers, because I was taught that, just get it on the teeth, and especially like the enzyme, the gel kind of stuff, just get it on the teeth and the enzymes would do the cleaning. She told me that, no, it's kind of like saying get the best, top of the line, the best Colgate or Crest toothpaste out there, the one that has whitening and all that, and just smear it on your teeth every night, and it should do the cleaning. And she was saying that's ridiculous, So it's the actual mechanical act of brushing that breaks up the biofilm that creates plaque, and plaque builds up and turns into tartar once it's cemented on the tooth. So all of that can be prevented by actually brushing your dog's teeth. So if you don't actually brush your dog's teeth, then she was saying you can use one of the rubber fingertips. If you don't trust your dog to put your finger in their mouth, then you can actually use dental chews. Like a lot of the stuff that you add in their water, or the enzyme stuff, or just getting the toothpaste on their teeth, she was like, none of that's going to do any good. It actually has to break up the biofilm that creates the plaque. And she was saying that there's also, Triple Lotus, perfect. KDK, I hear you now, awesome. But so she was saying you have to actually break up that biofilm. So just putting the tooth cleaning product on your dog's teeth is not actually going to do anything. They also have teeth cleaning dog food you can get as prescription, but she was saying really brushing is better, because that's really as like a last resort. If your dog can't do any of the other stuff, then the food actually kind of helps break up as they chew and crunch the food. But anyways, that's about cleaning dogs' teeth. Dr. Helen Evans says it's the mechanical act of brushing, not the toothpaste, that's going to do the cleaning. Piper, how often should I shower my Maltese? What can I do to control the bad smell? I shower my Maltese every 2 to 3 weeks. So if you're washing your Maltese every 2 to 3 weeks, then what's going on is, like the picture of the poor, every time we wash our dog, the signal that gets sent down into the skin is, help, we're being attacked at the surface. So more oils and more skin cells are being produced as a response to the cellular attack. And then that's how the skin interprets the bath, the cellular attack that's been on the surface. So, and that happens for about 2 to 3 weeks. So about 2 to 3 weeks, it's in overdrive. And then it goes back into a regular, just a normal functioning, normal cycle. So every 2 to 3 weeks, then every 2 to 3 weeks, when your dog's skin goes back into a normal cycle, we're kicking it right back into that recovery mode by washing them again. So they're going to constantly stay smelly, overproducing these oils. Not only that, because the oils do carry a scent, not only that, but if we're not using conditioner on top of that, that's going to make things worse, because if you're not using conditioner after you use shampoo, and the hair is not protected, so it can't repel off the bacteria, the dust, debris that's in the air. It holds on to it. So then bacteria starts to grow in about 2 to 3 days. And that's why in about 2 to 3 days after you wash your dog actually starts to smell more than they did before, because it took that time for the bacteria to start to grow. So my tips on washing your dog: before you wash your dog, brush their entire body, every square inch. If it's a short-haired dog, if it's a long-haired dog, comb them out with a metal comb. Or if it's curly-haired dog, or do both, brush and comb. But brush them or comb them thoroughly, completely before the bath, before bathing them. And when you use shampoo, always use conditioner. And as long as you do that, you're going to avoid 90% of all the skin issues that dogs have. Bad odors, chewing, licking, scratching, hot spots, hair loss, bacterial infections, all of these things, and yeast infections. You can avoid them just by brushing them thoroughly before you wash them. Use conditioner after you use shampoo, and probably wash them maybe once every 6 to 8 weeks rather than 2 to 3 weeks, because that way their skin gets to just chill for a little bit, just function normally, and then we can throw it back into that recovery mode by washing them. Okay. So Jix 2 Lee, Jack Russell Terriers. I'm glad, Jix 2 Lee, that you brought up Jack Russell Terriers, because I wrote a book on Jack Russell Terriers at the Chandler Library. Beautiful library out there in Arizona. Terriers, in the book, it said that as long as you brush your dog regularly, you never have to wash a Jack Russell Terrier, because those hairs, when you rotate the coat properly by cycling it, by brushing out those old hairs, and the new live hairs are, they're sealed, they have oils on them, they're bright, they repel off the water, they repel off the bacteria, and all of that. And then new hair is always growing in behind it, and so we're always brushing it and keeping it clean, so you never have to wash them. And it actually said that if your Jack Russell Terrier ever finds himself caught in the rain, his skin won't get wet and he won't get cold, because the oils repel it off. So I'm really glad you brought up Jack Russell Terriers, because I really thought that was really interesting. Triple Lotus, hi June, Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Triple Lotus. I hope you're having a Happy New Year yourself. And thank you so much for watching this channel. Seriously, I'm sorry about the whole lost connection thing and everything. But anyways, Jade Una says, my boss said to use vinegar with lavender to control the smell of those stinky dogs. Wouldn't that dry out the skin? And again, if you're trying to control the smell of stinky dogs, I would rather use like a conditioning mist, oil, and just brush them. But if you're going to use vinegar, because I heard using apple cider vinegar with the lavender, helps with like skin infections and things like that as well. If you're going to do that, it is drying, but shampoo is drying as well. Use conditioner or a good oil behind it, and that way you re-moisturize the skin, put oils back in and protect the skin and coat. Underwood, how do you hold the leg still as they struggle so much while I clip? And Juliet, I would really love to help you with this question, but that's more of a behavioral question, like, how do you get a dog to behave a certain way? And that's not my strong point. My strong point is grooming, so anything about the skin, the hair, things like that, grooming products, yes, I can help out. But anything beyond that, videos, I do a lot of dogs that are difficult to groom, and I know how to get there. It's kind of like going to my friend's house. I know how to get there, but I don't know the street names, so I can't tell you how to get there, So I don't really think I'd be a lot of help. I mean, unless you want to watch my videos and just kind of keep, maybe seeing how I did it. But yeah, those the behavioral kind of questions, I don't really think that that's my forte, that's my strong point. So I want to stick to grooming questions. But Juliet, The Art of Grooming, the book that I wrote, it's all about kind of like the how, not really how, but the why I do what I do and what I believe. And that kind of explains the mindset I'm in when I'm doing what when I'm grooming a difficult dog. And so that might help. Beverly Stromberg, she's saying she's enjoying and still watching. Maybe not anymore. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna probably have to go back to the first video and cut out where, stop it where it cut off. But anyways, Daniel Brown says, hi there, how to clean dog's teeth, and we already went through that. Daniel Brown, and thank you so much for being on the second one. I've asked you in the groomer today. Let's see, Julia Underwood. My vet preaches not to pluck hairs, but to cut them, as this is the latest thinking. Plucking may break a lot of skin and get infection. So I don't want to disagree with your vets, but my clients, they love me because a lot of them came with really bad ear infections. I plucked the hairs out, I cleaned the ears, and now they have no problems. So I disagree with your vet, but I'm also not going to let what your vet says stop me from plucking my clients' dog's ears because because of the results, you know. Daniel Brown, I love your show. Awesome. I watch a good day of your life. So that's awesome. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Daniel Brown. You're awesome. You're a great fan. Fan. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe I said that. Lisa Dance Again. Thanks, June. Thank you so much, Lisa Dance Again. I have a lot of razors. How can I clean them up? They've been sitting around for years. Beverly Stromberg, I have a video called How to Clean and Maintain Clipper Blades. I think that's going to be a lot of help. I show how you can slide it and clean inside. I even like kind of slide it too far and the cutting blade falls out, and I show how to put it back in. So I think, that video will be a lot of help for you. Sophia Piper, okay, so this is when I lost connection the first time, and then I never got back on connection. Okay, so Julianne, thank you, Jim, for not letting us down. But remember, you need to rest time too. Yes, I saw the picture. Okay, perfect. So Julia Brown. So I'm all caught up with those questions and those comments. Let's see if there's. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of new ones. So Jade Una, a little slow but good. Perfect. Okay, so I saw that. Jix Tooley, regarding hair, Jack Russell Terriers, perfect. So Jix Tooley, hopefully you're on the second video and you heard my explanation on Jack Russell Terriers. And as far as brushes, I love the rubber Kong brush. So they come in blue and red, but I love the rubber Kong brush, and that would be great for that short Jack Russell coat. Also, something like the Furminator, those kind of brushes. Also, you could use like a rake type of thing, but I mean, yeah, and also a bristle brush. So a boar's bristle brush, or what I really like is if you go to Walmart or any of those kind of places, you'll find a kiwi brush. They're for shoes. The 100% horsehair kiwi brushes, I love those for the dogs. And those natural hair bristle brushes are going to grip the oils and spread them evenly throughout the coat, and spread them, so it gives a nice layer of protection all over your dog. Let's see here. Valerie Marchbanks. My Bichon loves to have his teeth brushed. Perfect. Oh, you're one of the lucky ones. Leslie Garcia. Hello, Leslie Garcia. Sophia Piper. I'm back. Thanks, dude. Thank you so much, Sophia. Oh my goodness. And thank you for bearing with me. Leslie Garcia, question, what kind of brush would be the best for my poodle? For a poodle, I really like the Greyhound comb. And so the Greyhound comb is going to have like one side has a finer teeth than the other side. One's a little bit coarser than the other side. And they call it a Greyhound comb. I don't know why, because Greyhounds don't really need it. But I love Greyhound combs for poodles. I feel like those metal ones hurt them. Yeah, but the plastic ones aren't going to really do any good, and it has to be metal teeth to really get down to the surface of the skin and grab those bundles of dead hair and lift them out. If it's not metal, it's not going to be strong enough. So unfortunately, you got to get the metal teeth combs for a poodle. And also, I have a video that's called how to comb out Matt's entangled hair, and I show how to comb out like all the tangled and matted hair out of a cockapoo's ears. And that's on my YouTube channel. And funny thing is, that video is like the most watched video, and that was just made on a whim. My wife just with her phone videotaped it. I don't know if this was on the other video or not, but yeah, it's crazy because I was like, nobody's gonna watch this, and that's the one that's like the most watched video on my channel. So I guess you never really know, Let's see here. Jix Tooley. My parents have 3 Jack Russell Terriers. No baths. You don't need baths. Just like some conditioning spray and brush. Oh, and what kind of brush would you recommend for Jack Russell Terriers? Thanks, June. Oh, perfect. It's almost like telepathic communication here. But yeah, the rubber Kong brush, like any kind of carding tool, like a Furminator type of tool, and a bristle brush, natural hair bristle brush. Okay, Goddess Wolfie, June, Goddess Wolfie. KDK, what are you familiar with the Yves Saint Bernard Hydro Massage Ozone Therapy Machine? Yes, they are out of Cave Creek, Arizona. Yes, I got to use one actually. It's amazing. I was thinking of completing their training and purchasing that machine. It's very expensive. If you can afford it, then definitely it's completely worth it. I've used it. I saw a dog that had Demondex mange. Within a week, the skin was starting to look better. The color came back. Started to regrow hair. So that machine is completely worth it, I think. Jade Una, it takes me almost 3 hours to completely groom a dog of all sizes, even the party size ones, because I'm new to grooming. Is that normal for a beginner? My boss trainer said that I should only be taking 1 hour. See, Jade Una, I took 8 hours today on one dog. Hours, because it took me that long to comb. Because if you think about it, if the owners aren't combing and I haven't seen the dog in like 2 months, then that's 2 months worth of this Bichon curly type of hair and undercoat that was supposed to be combed out regularly that wasn't combed out. So all this work starts to pile up. And if we understand how much is going on inside that pore, we understand how it can get so out of hand so quickly, right? And so I'm spending all that time combing everything out, combing it all out, getting it all out of the skin. And then that's why I got a shopping bag full of all this dead coat that I combed out of this dog. I didn't give it a haircut. I mean, I did scissor, but I didn't do any clipper work, you know? And yeah, so my point is, you know, and you got to charge accordingly. You know, you charge whatever you feel like your day is worth. Or, you know, and you also have to consider the customer too, how much they value that. But anyways, I'm not a business coach, you know, I'm an artist. But for me, if it takes me about 3 hours to do a Shih Tzu or a party size poodle. It takes me about 3 hours because an hour before the bath to comb out the dog completely, an hour to wash and dry because I'm doing 10 minutes shampoo, 10 minutes conditioner, you know, to give the conditioner, the shampoo time, because we got to give it time to work, right? So 10 minutes shampoo, 10 minutes conditioner, you got the rinse time, and then you have the dry time. So about an hour for the bath, and then about 45 minutes for the haircut, right? But then also 15 minutes for little touch-ups and things like that. So for me, 3 hours is a good, you know, normal time for a groom. When I hear about people who get it done in an hour or an hour and a half, I wonder how great the quality could be. Because if I'm a chef and I know that it takes about an hour and a half, you know, hour and a half to bake a potato, and have it steamy and fresh and juicy and taste great, and I hear that someone's getting potatoes out in 5 minutes out of a microwave like my mom does, you know, you have to question, like, how good is the quality? You know, are you gonna have to eat the potato really quick before it cools down and gets hard on the outside, you know, because you put it in the microwave? So, you know, I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just saying, for me, I never let that kind of stuff bother me, because even when I worked at other shops, the other groomers around me would laugh and everything. I'm going, you know, trying to make sure everything's nice and round. They're all, you know, like, you still working on that dog, Jin? I didn't care, because for me, it wasn't about how fast I could get a dog done, or, you know, comparing myself to anybody else, because we're artists. Artists don't compare ourselves to anybody else because we're too busy creating. Artists create, we don't compete. So I never compared myself to how well another groomer's doing, or how fast they're doing, or how much money they're making. None of that mattered, because shoot, who cares if they're making a ton of money? They're not spending it on me, you know? But yeah, Jade Una, if you could take any comfort in the fact that it takes me 3 hours to do any dog too. So I'm right there with you. Goddess Wolfie, I love you. Wow, thank you. That was easy. No, seriously, thank you so much, Goddess Wolfie. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I need some water. Anyways. Jix Tuli, haha, thanks for the brush info for the JRTs. You're welcome. Giselle and Blue. Giselle and Blue, hey, I recognize you. Hi, June. I'm not late, am I? No, actually, you missed a lot. I mean, a lot, a lot of crazy stuff actually. Like I lost connection. I tried to come back and still lost connections. Anyways, in this second video. And the crazy thing is, I actually went through all those questions that I went through on this part 2 video, this second live feed. I answered all those questions and then saw the comments later saying like, oh, we're still not getting anything. So that's why my voice is kind of gone, because I've already gone through a lot of these answers, and this is like my second time answering them in front of this computer here. So, oh my goodness. Anyways, yeah, Giselle and Blue, you didn't miss much. What's the great dog brush for a Labrador mix? Blue. Okay. So a lab mix, they're gonna have like a hair that's maybe like 1.5 inches to 2 inches sometimes. I would use a Coat King. And a Coat King is a brush that kind of, oh, you know what? Something. You don't even need a Coat King. You could use something like this. But something like this that has, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can. Okay, can you see that? Maybe I guess my hand. You see how it's curved right there? Like a claw almost. So my wife and I used to call it like bear claws, but something like this. And what you could do is you could just use it and go through your dog's hair like that. And if I was a dog and I had dead bundles of undercoat, this would actually grab it and pull it out. But see, it's not pulling or cutting any of my live hair because the hair is live. So, but when you go through this on your lab, it's going to start catching. It's not going to go through smooth. And when you start working it out, you're going to get these bundles and bundles of dead hair. Oh, excuse me. So I would recommend a Coat King or something like that, like a rake for your dog, especially if she's shedding, because now's the time for it actually. Many of you may know December 21st is known as the peak shedding day for dogs, also known as the equinox, the winter solstice, whatever. But it's like the shortest day of the year, and June 21st, the longest day of the year, typically. But these are also the peak shedding days for dogs. So from the sunlight. So your lab mix, she's probably shedding right now heavily. So yeah, I would go through with the Coat King. Also, a rubber Kong brush, like a rubber curry brush, would work great as well. I guess any tool will help. And if you don't have the tools, just get your fingers and just start picking at it. You know, the point is getting it out of their skin. Daniel Brown, it's sun and hot here now in New Zealand. Yes, New Zealand. I knew it. Daniel Brown from New Zealand. Valerie Marchbanks, exactly. Perfect. Amiga 360, hi Jane, how many dogs do you do in a day? I do about 2 to 3. Today I did 1, but usually I do about 2 to 3 dogs a day. Katie K, thank you. June, thank you for your videos. I started watching them before I was a groomer, and you inspired me to stop thinking about it and just do it. Wow. So now I finished training and I'm a groomer. Wow. That's awesome, Katie K. Keep me posted on your progress. That's really cool. And as a groomer, again, Katie K, don't groomers are doing as like a comparison to how well you're doing. You know, of course, learn from them. Be open to learn from everybody, and take what's good, and take what's take all the things that you like and make your own style, because you're an artist now. And welcome to the community of artists. But yeah, like Bruce Lee says, you know. Let's see here. Jade Una, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Thank you. Awesome, Jade Una. Zanetta Masad. Hello, how often should I bathe my Lhasa Apso? Her hair is medium length, and I was thinking of getting some dry shampoo for between baths, which is a great idea. Is this advisable or an option? Yes. And I say brush more, bathe less. It all comes down to brushing more, bathing less. So if we know that by washing our dogs too much, it actually causes them to have dry skin, to have bad odors, to have all these, skin issues and problems, then, then we understand, okay, maybe I should wash my dogs maybe once every 2 months, or maybe once every 2.5 months, like as long as I can stretch it. But in between then, if you're spraying them with coat conditioners, like dry shampoo sprays, or, even something like this. This is a botanical body splash, pina colada, not my favorite, but something like that, and just mist it and brush, then that would do so much more than bathing would. So, and again, if you just brush your dogs completely before, or you can comb them out, especially a Lhasa Apso. If you get a metal comb and run it through your entire dog's body, if you can do that, then you can bathe them. And when you use shampoo, always follow up with conditioner and let it sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And if you do those things, you won't have hot spots, you won't have any itching, licking, chewing, hair loss, matting, bad odors. All of these issues will just be gone if you just brush your dogs more, bathe them less, brush them before washing, and use conditioner after shampoo. Those 4 things. Okay, here we go. Jade Una, that makes me feel so much better. I was feeling like I was lacking something. No, maybe the only thing you were lacking was like confidence in yourself. And that's the thing. It's like self-confidence comes from self-respect, and self-respect comes from doing what you know in your heart is right, and that's it. So, and Wayne Dyer, he says true nobility is not being better than anybody else. It's about being better than you used to be. So if every day you're just trying to improve upon the day before, and you just keep doing that, then I mean it's inevitable. It's only logical that you're going to become an amazing groomer. Maybe not in a few weeks, but in a few years. Every single day you're improving. So and you're not even and you're not comparing yourself to anybody. And that's why I've decided not to compete either. Not that I have anything against groomers who compete. And actually, I feel like now that I have this platform, I want to use it, and maybe even film and make beautiful films of groomers who do compete, to kind of showcase how amazing we are as artists. But I don't feel like it's really my scene, to go in there and compete with them, because I really believe that and when it comes to art, how do you compare one person's work of art to another person's work of art? So, Kimmy Y, hi, I found you because I was doing research, because I just adopted my first dog, Maltese Pekingese mix. I'm picking him up Saturday morning. I love your videos and outlook on grooming. Thanks, I learned a lot. Awesome, thank you so much, Kimmy Y. Kim Y. Kim Y, is that my wife? Is that my wife upstairs? I'm just kidding. But yeah, thank you, because my wife's name is Kimberly Yoon. My last name's anyways. That's like my wife's account upstairs. She's typing this. Caitlin Mint. Hi, Jun. I'm a groomer of 6 years. I have a client, mini golden doodle, that has an ear infection used for over a year now. Owners argue with me. It's not, and says vet agrees. What can I do? And says vet agrees. That is not an ear infection. What can I do? It's insanely inflamed and has the worst odor. I'm worried the dog is going to eventually lose her hearing. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, what can you do, right? If the owner's saying that it's not an ear infection, the vet agrees with them, they're not willing to hear you out. What can you do other than every time that dog comes in, I would use a really good ear cleaner. Envirogroom makes natural green ear cleaner. I know Nature Specialty makes a really good ear cleaner. Degrees ear cleaner. It's like a natural clean ear cleaner. Really good ear cleaner, and clean it out as best I could. Then followed up with argan oil or emu oil. Just a light layer of oil and just oil the ear leather, you know, inside the ears, because the ear is a sebaceous zone. The ears, the armpits, the tummies, these are called the sebaceous zones because they're areas of the dog's skin where they produce more oils and less hair. So because it's a sebaceous area, a sebaceous zone, it needs oils, especially because oils protect the skin. So with a good ear cleaner, it's so important to follow it up with a light layer of oil. And by doing that, slowly but surely, every time that dog comes in, you'll start to notice the ears are starting to look better. And so maybe a year from now, Caitlin, you'll be telling me a different story. Amiga 360, what breed is hard for you to learn? For me, is Yorkies. Yeah, I guess so. And I don't know. I don't really have a breed that's tough for me to learn. I guess for a breed that I do have difficulty grooming, or Portuguese water dogs. Here's why. Every Portuguese water dog I've groomed so far, they're just so jumpy. Just energy level is out the roof. They cannot sit still, and they are so smart. They have a mind of their own. They question everything. So, and at first, I used to drive me nuts. I used to get so frustrated when I would groom Portuguese water dogs until I went to a demonstration. Like, I think it was actually. Anyways, it was one of those grooming lectures, those classes, and the one who was presenting it, she was saying, "Do you know that Portuguese water dogs, the reason why they're so hard to groom is because they were bred to take messages from ship to ship and swim in the ocean, and sometimes even help them herd fish, you know, so they can catch them in their nets." So these dogs had to think independently. They had to be super intelligent and have like an independent spirit and be able to make decisions on their own. And so that's why on the grooming table, when I'm saying like, "Hey, stay still," they're like, "No, why should I stay still?" You know, they have a mind of their own. So when I learned that and I understand why they behave like that, you know, I get it, you know, but it's kind of hard to groom a Portuguese water dog for me. um, Zanetta Masad, awesome, thank you, love your videos. Thank you, Zanetta, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, it's 10:30. Okay, so winding down here, Giselle and Blue. Thanks for that, June. Love your videos. You're the best. Thank you so much, Giselle and Blue. Before I lose my voice here. And thank you, everybody, for bearing with me, even coming over to the second live feed after I lost the first one. Thank you guys so much. Amazing support. I'm so happy that we have so many people that are, wanting to help create awareness, because if you agree with me, I think most people are good. Most people are good inside. And so if we just share this information and they have better information, I think most people would take better care of their dogs. They just don't know. They don't know. It's not a lack of love. So Jade Una, do you ever get irritated when the dog won't let you clip their legs? I do, but I try my hardest not to think and think them as a baby gets upset. Yeah. Jade, thank you so much. Helped me feel so much better about myself and makes me build more confidence. Perfect. I get irritated sometimes, and that's when I realize that this is the best opportunity for me to breathe and practice patience. These dogs are really our masters. They're teaching us how to master patience, And so oh, thank you for teaching me patience, But yeah, oh man, sometimes my uncle-in-law was asking me out in Arizona, what is it like to work with dogs all day long? And I was telling him, like, honestly, sometimes, no disrespect to anybody out there, but like sometimes it almost feels like working with like mentally handicapped children from a different country that don't speak our language. I mean, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but seriously, it's like, what do? It's not this child's fault that they're acting this way or not understanding what's going on. They're not able to comprehend that you're not trying to hurt them. They're freaking out. They don't speak your language. Like, it really feels that way. But that's why, it's the best opportunity to actually practice and master patience. These dogs are our masters. Okay. Lisa Dance Again. Thanks, June. This has been great to watch. Thank you so much, Lisa Dance Again. Thank you so much for actually coming over to the second video. Awesome. Caitlin Mint, thank you so much. I'm going to try it. I love the dog so much. It's so worth a try. Thank you so much, Caitlin. You're awesome. Valerie Marchbanks, thanks for the helpful tips. I enjoyed it. I mean, I think I had more fun too. I mean, I really look forward to this. I wish I had more time to respond to everyone's emails and everything, but I mean, seriously, I don't even reply to my wife's text messages that come in because I'm like all day like sweating and grooming. So, and driving, you know, I really try to remind myself not to text and drive. So, anyways, Kelsey, is it Gillespie? Kelsey Gillespie. What age do you recommend that puppies start coming in for grooming? And what age do they start getting full haircuts? So this was a few episodes back, but I actually learned from one of our YouTube viewers that the 8 to 12 week mark is the perfect time to actually get your dog associated with grooming, because the 8 to 12 week mark is when they're actually starting to really take in their surroundings and learn about the world around them and what's normal and how they're supposed to, what's expected of them. So this is the best time at between 8 to 12 weeks to get them used to the routine of grooming. Jade Una, good night. Can't wait for your next live chat. Good night, Jade. Thank you so much. This is fun, isn't it? Triple Lotus, thank you so much. You're awesome. Triple Lotus, what has it been like? 4 years now that we've known each other through YouTube. Oh my god, this is crazy. How are your dogs, by the way? Anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. It's getting late. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.